Please note that nothing in this podcast should ever be taken as personal financial advice.
And if you are seeking financial advice, reach out as we work with professionals in the industry. And welcome back to another episode of the Finance Bible Podcast. You're joined with myself, Zeke, and fellow co-founder of the Bible. Mate, today we've got an exciting one. There's a really rare money-earning opportunity coming up this Saturday, which we're going to dive into. In the second half of the podcast, we've also got 5 steps to eliminate any debt and how we do that. Mate, before we jump into it, how are you today?
Mate, going well. Very cozy here in the office, as always, with the thunderstorms outside, podcast inside. Cannot complain. Tuesday afternoon, we got the opportunity for our listeners to make some money on the weekend, as you mentioned, and it doesn't get much better than this. I think we'll just jump straight into it, to be honest. Opportunity this Saturday for all you Sydney residents, even people from Melbourne, Adelaide, who want to fly over for the weekend and make some money.
Or even people from the Hunter Valley.
Wherever,
I've got a few friends there that you might be interested.
Well, there you go. Well, wherever you may be, we have an exciting opportunity with our friends at Doe. Doe is a company which helps everyday students, young people who are working casual part-time jobs to earn some more cash on the side. So, for example, this Saturday at Randwick Racecourse, exciting opportunity. You can earn $332 from working 9 till 6:30 p.m.
Basically, you're not just going to Randwick. You're not just going to the races. You're actually getting paid $332 to go there and work. Brilliant opportunity. You're getting paid about $35 an hour. You get a free lunch.
Which you don't get normally. $35 an hour is quite
$35 an hour, that's a good income.
Yeah.
For one casual shift on a weekend at the races in Randwick.
Man, and you forgot to mention free lunch and a paid break. Like, what else could you ask for? And you can also bring your friends along. You can work with your friends to make that money. And if you want, after you've made a bit of money in that day, go out and spend it. As we always say at Finance Bible Podcast, spend on what gives you value.
Yeah, if you're looking to increase your income or if you're looking to negate your expenses or mitigate them the best you can, offset them the best you can, this is the opportunity for you.
These opportunities will come up a lot more regular now. When there are opportunities, we'll be posting them. And for this one especially, we're going to put the link onto our Instagram story and post. So all you got to do, click on the link, fill out the form, and then we'll get in contact with you, give you the details, and then all of a sudden you earn $332 this Saturday. Happy days.
So Saturday the 11th, 9 to 6:30 p.m, $332, whether it's hospitality or bar work, one of the two.
Bring your friends. Yeah, work with your friends. More the merrier. Happy days.
Anyway, that's our exciting money-earning opportunity for this week. A good little side hustle. And I do believe they regularly have opportunities come up.
Yeah, exactly right, Zeke. So what we'll do is when there is a new opportunity coming through, we will obviously advertise it.
If you do that once a week, it's $330 extra, well, $332 a week extra income. You do that every week for the year, you're looking at almost an extra $18,000 per year. Anyway, get around it. Onto the second part of the podcast. We're looking at our 5 steps of how to eliminate your debt.
Very important conversation, this one. In the interview we had the other week with Financially Fit, we did speak about what message we'd want to give to everyday Australians or just listeners around the globe, because it suits everyone. So it's basically spend less than what you earn. It's simple, yes, we all know it, but a lot of people actually don't do it. And this is where credit cards come into it. And credit cards change the mindset of everyone, because you believe if you have a $20,000 credit card limit, you believe you have $20,000 which you can spend, which is correct. But you actually don't have $20,000 yourself. It's the bank's money. You're borrowing it, and then you got to pay it back. And we know these days, everything is a lot more expensive. We have Afterpay, we have everything. And what we're finding is a lot of people are in a lot of debt. So how can we minimize this debt and get you back on track to maximize your saving goals?
What you brought up there with the credit card, I can relate to that very well. When I was doing my work for Westpac, we had a lot of clients ring up and say something along the lines of, I've got $18,000 available, blah, 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 on my credit card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, you've got $18,000 available, but you don't have $18,000. Like, yeah, it's available. And I'm like, mate,
check
your actual account. You don't have $18,000. Like a lot of people actually see that and take it as, oh, cool, I've got 18 grand to spend.
Yeah.
And then they will spend it. The way that credit cards are presented and the way everything works in this kind of system at the moment is manipulative.
Yeah. Advertisement as well, fake news, if you want to say that. But yeah, it's a trap. Unfortunately, a lot of younger individuals get in the trap and then they're in it for a while, because as soon as you hit 18, you finish school, you are eligible for a credit card. What better way to impress your friends as you think than get a credit card and shout at everyone? But yeah, it's trouble. But luckily, Zeke and myself, we're here to help you fix that and give you the steps. Mate, step one, what is it?
You want to make a promise to yourself where you're going to actually pay the debt off, or that you don't want debt in your life. Bad debt, that is. Once you've made that promise, you're one step of the way there. You started the journey.
Yeah.
You've acknowledged that it's not something you want and it's not something you're going to settle for in your life.
Yeah, and even if you're having trouble telling yourself that, simple as well, but write it down on a piece of paper, put it on your room, print it out, stick it on the wall that I want debt out of my life. Visualizing it is one thing, and then acting on it's another thing. So if you do both of those, you've put yourself in the right step. Secondly, is if you have enough to pay it off, pay it off. It's a no-brainer. It's literally a no-brainer. Yeah, a lot of people have, say, $5,000 of debt on their credit card. And on the other hand, they have $10,000 saved up in their savings account and they still don't want to pay it off. I think that is probably the silliest or the stupidest decision.
The stupidest. He's gone there. He's thrown that word out.
I think that decision is, it's stupid. If you have enough money to pay it off, just pay it off. Like, you want to start, especially now if we're made the first decision to be debt free, you want to start with a fresh start, eliminate all debt, pay it off, and then start actually building your wealth back up. Because like I said, there's good debt and bad debt, and credit card debt, unfortunately, is bad debt.
A lot of people who are in a position where they are struggling to pay off debt will reflect this kind of lifestyle where they'll have accessible funds and they won't actually pay off the debt. If you are one of those people struggling, after you've made that promise, you need to commit to it and really eliminate that debt the best you can. If you're someone in a position where you're really good with debt, you're actively investing, you're actively saving, etc., then this may not relate to you as much. You may not need to do that sacrifice and pay it off. However, generally speaking, and the patterns we're finding with clients is you are better off to pay that debt quicker rather than later.
Yeah. Just touching on that one there, mate. Change the cycle around. Let's say you have $10,000 of credit on your credit card and you have $5,000 in savings. There's $5,000 missing that you can't actually pay off your card. So what we're going into the next number 3 method is actually making minimum payments on your credit card or whatever debt you may have, and figuring out the debts from highest to lowest of interest rate or the interest that you're paying, and pay accordingly to that. So this is called the avalanche method.
You want to create a snowball effect or an avalanche where you've got your debts from highest rate to lowest rate, and you want to pay the minimum on all of them, as Oscar said. And then every bit of surplus cash that you've got available to slam into each debt or the highest interest rate debt to pay them off the quickest is what you want to do. For example, let's say you've got mortgage of 2% interest, you've got a credit card of 23% interest, and you've got a car loan of 8% interest. Minimum repayments on home loan and minimum repayments on the car loan, while really trying to smack that credit card debt down. Because it's charging you 20% or so.
You got to smack it.
In this example, you pay off your highest interest rate first, which is your credit card, and then your car loan, which was, I said, about 8%, and then your home loan, which I said was about 2%. The next method or next part that we're going to touch on is actually perfect for what we were talking about earlier,
ideal.
mate.
You want to create a side hustle, because at the end of the day, we need to pump this debt ASAP. This works perfectly to what we talked about at the start. Take the opportunity this weekend, for example, at Randwick, make $332 just like that. And that's an extra $332 you can put on your credit card, on your Afterpay, on your Zip Pay, whatever you might be in debt, put it on that debt, pay it off quicker. And this can be a regular occurrence as well each weekend. For example, if you had $4,000 in debt on your credit card, take the Randwick gig, in 3 months of working there every weekend or any other side hustle, your credit card will be paid off. It just shows the power of a side hustle and how beneficial it is to not only pump out your debt, but to also fast track your savings, your financial goals, your wealth goals, and everything like that.
And the final one to touch on is creating a budget. Very simple, very easy. You all know what a budget is. We've talked about it before. Basically, you want to create a plan where you can create surplus funds to throw onto the debt. And that's pretty much it. There are 5 steps to looking at repaying debt and also a great side hustle opportunity.
And that budget is actually in one of the original podcast bios if you haven't got it already. So jump onto the older podcast, get the template, and happy days.
That's it, mate. We'll catch you all next week for our podcast and potentially even this weekend at Randwick. But until then,
Keep investing,
keep budgeting, and keep listening.